White people, stop pretending to be good people if you can't call out white supremacy. I got news for you. You're not good if you can't call out white supremacy. Don't pretend to have morals if you can't call out white supremacy. If you can't acknowledge white privilege and white supremacy culture and system operating as a plague in our fucking nation and our fucking world, don't pretend to be moral. Don't pretend to be a good white person, because you're not. And I'm going to share with you guys something that I've never told before, a story. Many years ago, a white coworker told me, confessed to me, I guess because I'm white, told me I don't like black people. And I said, why you don't like black people? Tragically, he had lost his daughter, and he blamed a black man for it. His daughter died of a drug overdose, and they found out that a black guy had sold his daughter the drugs, and she died from an overdose. And he said, because of that reason, Dixon, I do not like black people. And I said, so let me ask you something. If a white guy had have sold you, your daughter, those drugs, would you not like all white people? And he said, well, that's not white culture. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, white people are not involved in drugs. Black people are. And I said, no, you're involved in white supremacy, because black people are not involved in drugs any more than white people. That's a fact. You have bought into a lie that white supremacy taught you, that black people are drug dealers, just like Trump said, right? Mexicans are mostly, a lot of them are rapists and drug dealers. You bought into that lie. You bought into white supremacy culture. That's why if it happened to the same, if a white person sold your daughter those drugs, you wouldn't not like all white people. That would be silly, right? It's the exact same thing with black people. It's stupid and silly and racist of you to think because one black person does one thing, they're all in that same category. That's how white supremacy works. He's like, well, fuck, man, we'll disagree. All right, we'll agree to disagree. That was the end of the conversation. He probably didn't learn a goddamn thing. He didn't want to learn. But that's the truth. It is white supremacy. Why people are racist. That's the only reason. Our indoctrination as to why we do not give a fuck about fixing the problem, about trying to dismantle white supremacy. Something happened today. I'm at a gas station and somebody yelled at me from across the way, from a pretty good distance, maybe 90 feet. I said, hey, ain't you that guy that makes them Instagrams? And I said, no. I thought about it and I said, I can't tell a lie. So I drove over there. I said, yeah, I am, man. He goes, yeah, you're the one that does the anti-racism. I said, yeah, I am. And he said, I appreciate you, brother. And of course he was black, because I've yet to ever be recognized by a white person, because I've never, ever had any white people recognize me, because I don't have many white followers, sadly, because white people avoid this conversation all the time. It's what we do as a society. It's what we do as a people. We avoid anti-racism. We don't want to be anti-racist. Not being racist is enough. No, it's not. When you benefit from racism, not being racist is not enough. So this gentleman touched me today because he recognized me and he said, thank you. And he encouraged me to keep going. He doesn't owe me a thank you. And I told him that, because what I'm doing should be the norm. Every white person in America should be calling out the plague called white supremacy in our society. Not just me, not just a handful of white people. It should be every fucking person. But guess what? We're colonizers. We don't have morality. As long as you can't call out and fight to dismantle white supremacy as a white person, you'll never have morality. And you'll never be respected by other people other than white, let alone trusted. White supremacy is a plague for all of us. Not just black, brown, indigenous people, for all of us. It's self-destructive. It's toxic to white people. And it takes all of our credibility and dignity away as a white people. And until we fix that, our most neglected sin, until we fix that as white people, we will never know peace.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, the more white folks they are keep on hiding the truth to black people, it is the more the white folks themselves they are keeping on coming out and reveal the truth to the black people. In today's video, I want us to watch this video from this white man. He has come out and dropped a bomb truth to the black people. He has exposed Whyt secret to the black people. So kindly guys, I want you to watch this till the end, then I'll be back with more comment. All credits goes to the original creator of the video. I'm your host Dash Lifestyle. Remember, this video, it is only for educational purpose, and also give this video a thumbs up.
You know, there's one great distinction between black folks and white folks. Black people have the moral high ground. They do. Black people have when you do a comparison morally between white people and black people, you have to take away one thing: supremacy. Black people do not have a culture of black supremacy. However, white people do. So white people are narcissists, social, cultural, systemic narcissists is who we are, because of our racism, because of the lies of white supremacy. How can white people have morality as long as we have bought into the lies of white supremacy? We can't. And how does that feel to know that black people have a moral high ground? How does that feel to know as a white person that you are sick, twisted, narcissistic, and immoral, highly immoral, and inhumane? I don't use the N-word. What are you doing to fight and dismantle racism that benefits you, white person? Nothing. I ignore it, I deny it, or you perpetrate it. Those are the three things we do. We ignore it, we deny it, or we perpetrate it. That's what most white people do. I hate to say it, but it's true. And that's why I say we're social narcissists, and we have no moral high ground racially. We are sick, hurting people. Hurt people, hurt people. And we've been hurting a long damn time. We're hurting because of the disease of white supremacy. It's destroying white people from within. Look at the white nationalist party, the GOP. Not just them, all white people. But just as an example, look at the GOP. They're batshit fucking crazy. They bought into so many lies, and it all started with the great lie. The great lie of white supremacy. It all started with that. Everybody knows the GOP now officially is the white nationalist party. That's a fact. Matter of fact, you can look at a lot of the rhetoric that they spew, and it's almost identical to what the KKK is spewing and has been spewing for many, many, many years. It's the exact same rhetoric. It really is. Once again, I'm asking white people to understand, you don't do this just for black people as an anti-racist. You don't do it. I do it because I care about humanity, and I can't stand. I was bullied for many years. I can't stand to see people bullied. That's one reason I do this. It's true. But I'm not here to fucking save anybody except for white folks. Black people can take care of themselves. Yes, white supremacy creates victims, but don't think the only victims are black and brown and indigenous people. We are also victims as the people who are living this grand lie and this grand immorality of social, cultural, and systemic narcissism. White people, you're hurting. Until you heal from racism, you're doomed to live an immoral and toxic life. I've seen it in my own fucking family. Don't tell me it's not true. I've seen it in my own goddamn eyes. Living under the lies of white supremacy makes you sick. Nobody's good enough. You're not good enough. You're living lies. And it's people like Donald Trump, the grandest narcissist of them all. That's why white people love Trump. And don't think it's only the GOP. It's also in liberals. Many white liberals are just as racist as the GOPs, just in a different way. So if you're not doing anything to dismantle white supremacy as a white person, again, you are the problem. And you're only hurting yourself by ignoring it. Believe that. I was raised to be racist. I use the N-word. My whole family used the N-word. We all use the N-word, 70s, 80s. As a teenager, I was a very racist young man. And I put that racist part of me behind me, in that now I can acknowledge that we live in a white supremacist culture and system, that I have white privilege as a white person. We all do. That this nation is a white supremacist nation. That MAGA is a white supremacist movement. That Trump is leading. But it's still hard to believe just how sick we are. But then I look at things like what Israel's doing to Gaza. I look at what Hitler did to the Jews and what Leopold did to the Africans, and so on and so on. It's racism. It's hate. And I'm ashamed of white people. I'm ashamed of all the white people that I thought that I knew that support this white supremacist MAGA movement. I'm so ashamed. And it is hard to believe just how racist the people that I thought I knew, and the denial apathy. But then you really think about it, black people have never really mattered to white people. They just don't. That's what we've been taught. We've been taught that black people are less than us. Subconsciously, consciously, overtly, directly, indirectly, passively, aggressively, whatever. We've all been taught that. We've all been taught that they are beneath us. And that's why everybody got so triggered when we had a black president. They're supposed to know their place. They're not supposed to have value. They're not supposed to have any kind of power, because we are such a racist people. Why? Because we're colonizers, because we were enslavers, and that's our culture. And you cling to that racism, white folks. You cling to it. You hold to it. Until you can respect your brothers and sisters that are not white, you're nothing but a fucking hypocrite. You don't love your country. You love white supremacy. And all you motherfuckers that don't care, all you apathetic white motherfuckers that just don't give a fuck about what's happening to immigrants, about what's happening to Haitians right now, about what's happening to all immigrants and brown and black people in general because of Trump's white supremacist movement. All you motherfuckers that just remain silent, that don't give a fuck, that'll secretly vote for Trump, that'll secretly vote for white supremacy. You're disgusting. You're the one that has no value because you lack character and integrity. You don't care about your brothers and sisters. Don't ever call yourself a Christian, and don't ever call yourself a patriot. Reality is, we're a highly racist country, and white people are a highly racist community around the whole goddamn world. And that's the truth. And that's why Trump got elected in 2016. He ran on a campaign of racism, and our country was so fucking racist that we elected him. And now he's going to implement a plan, if he's elected, to become a dictator, to destroy democracy, and to do horrible things that could ruin our country. We have a morally bankrupt, criminal, grifter, con man like the world has never seen, that may be our next president for the second time. All because the white man wants to maintain white supremacy. He would rather fuck himself in the ass than have any semblance of equality. That's a sick mind, and that's a sick nation. And that's the one thing about black folks. They have always known this nation was sick. While white people are pretending to be patriotic, you're not patriotic. You're just in love with white supremacy. Why is it that white folks support anti-blackness, racism, and white supremacist culture in so many goddamn fucking ways? Why is it that we support it through our silence, our defensiveness, our denial, that code of silence? Let's not talk about it. Let's ignore it. All that fucking gymnastics, that defensiveness, the fucking anger, the passive aggressiveness, the stereotyping, the overt, covert racist, all the shit that we do, the gaslighting, all that fucking shit that we do as white people. Why can't we just leave black people the fuck alone? Why? Because we were taught that shit. It's our culture. White supremacist culture is American culture. It's European culture. We see ourselves as overseers. We ourselves as entitled to control and judge black people. White Americans wanted, back in the day, we demanded black people be segregated, right? So we segregated. Black people said, okay, great, we're going to make our own shit. They started doing great. What did we do? We fucking burned their communities down to the ground. And you're going to sit in your fucking silence? You ought to be ashamed of yourself for not giving a fuck. Every single one of you that can't talk about it, that spews fucking racist narratives, stereotypes, denial, gaslight. That's not their reality. Telling black people what the fuck they should think, feel, do, be. Fuck you. Do better. Reject your fucking training, your indoctrination. Question your own goddamn morality racially for once in your fucking life. I'm tired. I'm tired of what my people have done, what they continue to do. I'm fucking sick of it. I'm tired of seeing people suffer. I'm tired of the fucking inequality. And you ought to give a fuck too.
Man, I tell you what, nothing makes racist white people more pissed off than me, a white person, trying to educate about racism and trying to educate about what white privilege is and all these things. And it's so funny because these same people will argue with me till they are blue in the face about how they're not racist and we don't live in a racist institution and black and brown people have it so easy and racism doesn't exist anymore. But then they will turn around and say the most racist, ignorant, vile shit you've ever heard in your life. The disconnect is amazing. And this is why I make content like this, because it's so important. Because we do live in a racist institution, and we are all raised in racism as white people. This is simply a fact. And the crazy part about it is every one of us knows this. Even the ones who will sit there and fight with me to the death about it and act like it doesn't exist. Y'all know white people are racist. Y'all know about the casual racism, the casual microaggressions that we are raised in, no matter where we live in this United States of America. And this is why I will never stop. I will never stop trying to educate as a white person about racism and how we need to learn. We need to evolve. We need to do better. It's almost as if they feel like admitting to a racist institution or admitting to racism makes them this evil, terrible person. And so they would rather double down than to grow and be a good person. And that's so bad, because all that says to me is that you have a small mind and a cowardly soul. And I wish better for you than that, truly, because everything in your life will get better when you stop being so ignorant.
Being white in America has often been described as being a fish in water. We don't understand that we're in water. We don't know that there's a world around us that was created for us to live in. And we don't understand that life exists outside of that world. And so when we are asked to really change, we don't even know what we're changing. We think we're just swimming to a different part of being in water. Yet we don't know that there's a world that flies through the air. We might not even know that air exists outside of our world in a life that exists, created by something much larger than us. We don't know that humanity exists on land. We don't know that other animals exist on land, and these are very different ways of living compared to our culture. And because we don't know these things, we are too scared to ever leave the water and find out what other forms of life live like. And so I'll give you an example. Black comedians talk about it all the time. Cedric the Entertainer did it, where when somebody starts running, black folks start running, and then they try and figure out, what were we running for? When white folks see someone running, they want to know before we start running, what are we running for? Where are we running to? Why are we running? All of these things need to be answered. Why? Because our world works for us. So we don't need to start running, even though our world is dangerous, our world is harmful, traumatic, it causes all kinds of problems. We don't know because we don't know anything different. We have never been taught about another culture. So while someone else is willing to take that risk to find out that there's another world, we don't want to leave the water. We are too afraid to find out what's on land, what humanity really looks like, because to us, all we know is that the water's just fine. Race for what?
Here's the hard truth. The United States doesn't know what to do with black people because it refuses to admit the truth about itself. It's like a man who keeps tripping over the same step in his house, but instead of fixing the step, he blames his shoes. That's how America continues to treat racism. From the auction block to the school to prison pipeline, from redlining to mass incarceration, the pattern is clear. Systems with built-in racism, it's not a glitch, but it's the blueprint. And yet every time someone tries to speak the truth, the system covers its ears and cries, reverse racism, or that was a long time ago. Black people have been told for centuries, assimilate, but don't lose your culture. Speak up, but don't make us uncomfortable. Succeed, but don't succeed too much. It's the double bind of being black in America, constantly judged by rules you didn't write in a game that you were never meant to win. And when black people demand justice, not charity, not pity, not slogans, but real justice, America shrinks back in fear. Why? Because justice requires acknowledgement. It requires confessing that racism isn't just history, it's currency, it's capital, it's the invisible scaffolding that still holds everything up, from policing to housing to politics. The truth is, America doesn't know what to do with black people, because doing right by black people would require undoing the myth of American innocence. It would require saying, yes, this country was built on stolen land by stolen labor, and yes, that harm is still happening. And yes, we owe a debt. But instead, we get deflection. We get color blindness. We get a sanitized version of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Juneteenth cookouts without reparations. America wants black excellence, but not black humanity. It wants rhythm and blues, style without struggle. So what do? We keep telling the truth loudly, clearly, unapologetically, because the first step in healing is naming the wound, and America is still in a place that it won't even admit that it's bleeding. Until it does, it will keep stumbling over the same step, tripping over black bodies, black voices, black dreams, blaming everything but itself. But the day is coming when the truth will no longer knock gently. It will kick down the door, and America will finally have to choose: repair the foundation or keep falling.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have seen how this white man, he has come out and revealed the secret, the hidden secret that the white folks have been doing to the black people, and he's coming out and warning his people to stop treating bad to the black people, because for a very long time white folks that have been treating very bad black people in America. You have seen how black people that have been going through challenges and the struggle in America, how these people that have been going through racism, the less opportunity they are being given, how black people that have been oppressed in America. So this white man, he is tired of seeing how his white people, they are coming out, how they usually treat black people in America. And it is not only in America. Black people who have been treated very bad from these Western countries. They always oppress us. They always see us black people as people who are not being accepted in the world, because these people, they always want to be on top of black people. And that's why this white fox is coming out, and also he's educating his white folks to stop doing bad things to the black people, and they need to take black people as equal in America. For a very long time, the black people in America that have been asking the white folks to treat them as equal. The same opportunity that these white folks they are giving to their fellow people, it is the same opportunity that black people that have been wanting in America. Not being given less opportunity, not being oppressed, not going through kind of racism in America. That it is now the end time, and majority of white folks, I'm so happy to see majority of white folks that are coming out and revealing the hidden secret they've been doing to the black folks, and they need to change. This man, I really love him because he has come out and educate. Also, apart from exposing their fellow white folks for the wrong things they've been doing to the black people, he is also educating these white folks to stop doing bad things, because judgment is coming. If these people they will continue doing like this, they will also go ahead and lose their country, because judgment is coming, and it is now the right time for these people to start repent, for these people to start giving the black people their reparation. They need to ask for forgiveness towards the black people for the wrong things they have been doing. So kindly guys, I have some of the comment here that I want also to read it for you and see what majority of people they have come out in the comment section and say according to this white man coming out and expose his race. This one is saying that it is a shame how easily some people have been brainwashed. Yeah, so this one is saying that people who hate the truth will hate this man. Exactly. So I know majority of white folks, they will come out and start hating this man, because these white people, they don't love the truth. These people, the white folks, they have been always lying. They've been always lying towards black people. So when these people, they will had this man coming out and splitting this truth, they will hate him. This one is saying that white people are not involved in drug, but his daughter was involved in drug. The denial and craziness is beyond me. So this one saying that as a black man, I love and support his brother. So this one saying that nobody forced his daughter to take drug, that was her own choice. Yeah, so this one is saying that white follower here, you are one of the few white creators I even mess with. I am busy listening to black creators. Those are the conversation I need to be listening to in this hour. Thank you for your voice and your heart. And racism is the only way. Anyone who is not anti-racism is a racism, no middle ground. So this one is saying that I love this man, and I am as bloodly white as possible. He speaks the truth. So you can see also the white folks that are coming out on the comment section and agree this man is speaking the truth. This one saying that that white man spoke from his heart, how he truly felt and with emotion. So this one is saying that I am a 57 years old black woman, While I was in the workplace last week, I overheard two white men talking about the wars and how to America taking precious mineral and resources from Africa and Afghanistan, and those places in completely justified, and they have a right to go in and take whatever they want to. The self-righteousness and the lack of humility is sickening. It was almost a mentality of finders, keeper, loser, weepers. So this one is saying that I remember I was in court for a probation hearing. Minor marijuana charge. I paid all of my probation fee ahead of time, paid all my court fees, all of my fine, and had 100% clean urine analysis record. I wanted to get off probation 6 months early so I could travel for work. I was denied by the judge. A white kid came before the judge. He had skipped his entire probation sentence, never reported, and it was like 2 years past the time that was supposed to be the end of his probation. The judge threw his entire case out. This is an example of the system racism and white privilege they denied, and also why so many black people are in prison. It's likely play a game on difficult versus easy mood. So you can see this man he has come out and highlight his story, and he has given us how white privilege it's working, because this man, he ended up paying all the fines. He has been attending all the cases, and also he has paid all the court cases. But you can see the judge come out, and instead of allowing this man to go for work, to release him and go for work, he is giving out somebody who was not attending his court cases. You can imagine how black people that are being treated in America. These are some of the kind of the racism that it is going on in America towards black people. That's why I've been telling you that this video, it is for educational purposes. Majority of people, they need to hear and learn. So this one saying that bravo to this gentleman, self reflection, the courage to speak up about morality and human decency and accountability are a fake trait. So this was saying that you, the best brother, you have the spirit of the late great John Brown. Thank you, our Father know you, and we can see and set your spirit. Yeah, so this one is saying that blacks don't own the cargo ship, planes, and boats that bring drug into America. A few years ago, a cargo ship owned by JP Morgan Chase was caught with 1.2 billion worth of drug in a port in Pennsylvania. After it was caught, we never heard anything else about that story. Anyone that thinks the black thug were the directors of that operation need therapy. Think of the many other drug cargo ships that aren't exposed. Yeah, so you can see this one saying that black people, they are not owning. Black people, they are not owning cargo ship which it is bringing drug in America. The people who are owning the the cargo ship, it is the white folks. And he has gone ahead and given a story of whereby they caught a ship of JP Morgan. It was with 1.2 billion of drug, but because that ship was belonging to a white folks, the story ended there. But if that ship was it will be found that it belongs to the black person, that story, it will be in public up to now. But since it is the ship coming, it is the white folks who own the ship, the story just ended. So this one saying that you have humanity, God bless you. So this one saying that my white brother. This one saying that this man just has told his truth. He's a real human being that turns his way around, and in God eyes, he's a good person. I am praying for him and his family. So you can see people, they want this man to be protected because of his truthness that he has come out and say. So this one is saying that racism is a tool used to keep humanity from ascending and achieving greatness. Greatness elites the parasite of humanity fight for your humanity. Watch the earth become a paradise. You have power, great power written in your DNA. You are a second to none. They hear you even finding out who and what you really are. Creator source. So this one saying that this guy is a modern day white Malcolm X, boldly calling it like it. May God Almighty bless him abundantly. So you can see how people, they are really coming through for this white man. So kindly guys, I also want you to share your thoughts on the comment section. I'll be reading it in my next video. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Remember to like this video. Remember, this video, it is always for educational purposes. See you on my next one. Bye guys. Bye bye.